guys, my name is Quinny and this is your perception. So, in today's video, we are going to be discussing how the view of your past affects your future. So, the first thing that we are going to discuss is the view that we have of our past. So, essentially, when we look at our past, we have these experiences and arcs and stages of our lives that have shaped our mindsets through conditioning. Okay, maybe there was a period in your life where you lived without a lot of money, or you lived in an abusive situation, or maybe you lived in some kind of discomfort. Something in your life was not, it doesn't even have to do with your situation. Maybe you are a privileged person, but you were having a hard time. It doesn't matter. Discomfort can come in many forms, and, you know, life happens. But what I want to discuss is, firstly, the conditioning that these things have brought upon you. Perhaps if you lived in a state of poverty for a long while, you may have conditioned your mind to believe that in that time period I was broke, or I was a poor person. Or maybe you still carry the mindset of a poor person. Maybe that you believe yourself to be broke, or the people around you didn't support you. Okay, you were out of alignment and you chose friends and surrounded yourself with people who did not believe in you. And so maybe in the present time frame, you don't fully believe in yourself, or maybe you're not the most confident person. Let's look at one more example. Maybe you lived in an abusive household and you never experienced privacy. Maybe you never experienced what it means to be taken care of, okay, or for someone to care about you without an exchange. And now in your relationships, things show up where you believe that you have to give something to receive something. So all of these codes come from our past conditioning. So it is so important to look at the past and to decode it and to understand it so that we can move forward with by breaking these cycles. Okay. So now that we've looked at those examples, the next thing that I want to discuss is the emotions we associate with past memories and how they can lead to us being triggered in the present. Okay, so, the past conditioning that you may have may create certain emotional and physical responses to stimulus. Maybe you were beaten by your partner, or maybe you were robbed, and maybe you got hurt in that robbing. And now every time you see someone wearing black, or wearing a hoodie that covers their whole face, you feel a sense of terror. You see someone and you have to walk to the other side of the street because you are afraid. Or perhaps when someone raises their hand or raises their voice, you feel a certain aggression, a certain uh, fear or violence. Or maybe when you want to buy something, you feel guilty. Or when you want to show your partner affection, you don't want to feel like you're doing too much. Okay? But if you are in alignment, you can simply be yourself and do these things, and, you know, act with confidence, act with ease, because you know that you are in alignment and that you have broken these cycles and that you understand the codes that are not inherent, the codes that have come from conditioning. And we do this by becoming more conscious. Okay. The number one thing that you can do to see your karmic cycles, your karmic patterns, these patterns of memory that have altered your brain chemistry, your physical chemistry, is through meditation. When you sit and focus on the breath, your consciousness, and I've made many videos about how to meditate, your consciousness begins to expand. Try this for the next 3 days or the next 2 days. Speak only when necessary, only when someone speaks to you. Speak. And you will begin and also meditate in these 3 days. Silence and meditation. And you will begin to see how you want to act, how you want to respond. And those stimuli, those impulses will show up. But because of the silence, because of the meditation, you will be able to see them pop up. There is more space. Okay, you're not filling your mind with thoughts. You're not filling, your area with, nonsensical chatter. And so this quiet space allows you to see yourself for who you really are, and to see the patterns that you have created over time or that have been forced onto you over time. So, through that, you will be able to stop these patterns, no matter how uncomfortable it will be. You will be able to see these patterns and rewrite them. Decide every time the impulse to fall back on a certain addiction or the impulse to react in a certain way comes up. Every time you are about to be triggered, say no. Immediately say no. When that thought comes into your mind, that negative thought, recondition it. Say no and change that thought. Even if you have to write it down, change that thought. And this is how you will reprogram yourself, by becoming quiet, becoming still through meditation and silence, and then every time the impulses come up, the negative thoughts come up, the negative expressions, mannerisms come up, these things are not you, these are patterns. And you will say no and deny them and rewrite them. Act consciously instead. Okay? So let's look at shifting your perspective towards your past. How do you see your past? So I will use an example of myself. So when I was between the ages of 10 and 15, we didn't have a lot of money. And so whenever I wanted to buy something, I would feel that my money is going to run out. I would never feel comfortable. Like, I would buy the things out of impulse, but I would never feel comfortable with it. Oh no, my light's gone off. Okay, there we go. I would never feel comfortable buying the food or the snacks that I wanted or the new clothes that I wanted. And I remember I began to rewrite this. Every single time that I would buy something, I would tell myself, this money comes back to me 10 times over. Whatever money I spend comes back to me 10 times over. And I would repeat this to myself every time that I would buy something. Eventually, I got a better job. And the more money I would spend every month, the more money I would make every month. Okay? Every single month, my income climbed for around 8 months. until it plateaued. And I'm not working that job anymore. But this is just an example of how rewriting the way that you think in the moment affects the future and affects your current reality. Okay? When you feel nervous to show affection to your partner, say no and show affection to them. If they react badly, then maybe that person isn't right for you. Okay, there are many factors here. It's not just to say that you can change yourself and your mannerisms and the world is going to be perfect, because those mannerisms have led you where you are, or those codes have led you where you are today. So when you change them, things around you begin to change. And it's not always the most comfortable experience. It's not always the easiest experience, because you will lose many friends. You will lose many relationships. You will lose many things that make you comfortable. And through this discomfort, you will become a remarkable individual, and you will attain things that you will be able to handle for once in your life. Incomes, mindsets, levels of respect, levels of love and admiration that you have never been able to accept or handle prior to recoding yourself. Okay? So, another thing is accepting your past. Do not think I was broke. Think that was my situation. And it didn't destroy me. I'm still here. It wasn't the worst it could be, but also forgiving yourself and other people. You know, whether we are looking at ages ago, things that you did ages ago, or things that people did to you ages ago, or things that you did last month, or things that someone has done to you last month. Okay? We need to accept these things. Do not ignore these things. Accept these things. Say, okay, they happened. I did them. Okay, they happened. Maybe they happened to me. Someone did them to me. But you need to forgive yourself for past actions, for past situations that you may have played a part in. You need to forgive other people for what they have done to you. It doesn't mean that you have to go up to them and say it, but inside of yourself say, I forgive these people for what they have done to me, and I forgive myself for what I have done to other people or to yourself. Okay? This forgiveness is incredibly important, because think of hatred or ignorance as a tether. It ties you to this thing. But as soon as you accept this thing and forgive yourself and the other person, you cut this tether and you can move forward. And you can have a more positive experience and say, I learned from that. I became a better person because of that. Instead of just ignoring it and allowing it to be an uncomfortable noose for the rest of your life. So, the last thing that I will say today is that you can rewrite your story at any moment. It's up to you to decide whether or not you are going to change tomorrow or 6 months from now. Even the next breath is an opportunity to say, I am not who I used to be, and to act on it. Okay? And to decide that you are no longer the person that you used to be, and that you want to live a different life, and that you want to see different things and experience different people. It is just a choice. It is as easy as making that choice. Whether it is uncomfortable or comfortable, I encourage you to make that choice. Anyways, guys, that is it for today. If you would like to support me, you could buy the Zenith scroll. It will be the top link in the description. I will link it for you. It is a book I have wrote to help you broaden your perception and to become a larger presence in the world. Anyways, guys, that is it for today. Watch out! I will see you very soon. This has been your perception.